I don't think he's gonna last. No. No. What the?
Welcome, Gothamites, to another episode of the Arkham Sessions. My name is Brian Ward. Joining me, as always, the psychologist to the superheroes, superheroines, and supervillains of Gotham City, and now somewhere in deep space, she's Dr. Drea Letamendi. Hello, Drea.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Terrified, excited. I don't know all the adjectives that I want to use. There are many. We are watching a movie today that you have never seen. We are watching a movie today that you have been warned not to watch. We are watching a movie today that you decided suddenly when we decided on these movies that you really wanted to watch. And now I'm excited about watching you watch it.
That tracks. I have been so scared of this movie, and I chose this movie because I knew that we were going to cover a bunch of space sci-fi films for the summer of sci-fi. Mm-hmm. And something about doing it this way felt a little safer. I'm not sure why, because there are some elements. I don't know very much about this movie, but I know it is about a crew of astronauts that go into this journey, and this is some kind of, I don't know, something bad happens. And I've been told by so many people that this is one of the most horrific, one of the most graphic, one of the most violent sci-fi movies. So I have stayed away from it because I'm worried about just how violent this could be. And yet I feel like this is one way for me to overcome that fear. I'm, got a camera on me. I'm watching it with you. I know that I can probably just turn the screen off or close my laptop if it gets too bad. But I'm ready. That becomes problematic for our recording.
So maybe don't do that. I do remember there was a convention we went to once where we were in a hotel room and
I saw this was on TV, like on the hotel TV, on a channel that would definitely censor out the majority of the gore and the graphic violence. But
and even then you got 30 seconds in and I was like, hey, remember you were told not to watch this? And you were like, why? And you looked up and you went, nope. And
I
you turned it
channel
off instantly. I was like, I warned you.
There are not many movies that I would stay away from. And I just want to be clear that I love science fiction. I watched Alien and Aliens growing up. Mm-hmm. I love the Alien franchise. I'm able to tolerate some sci-fi horror. And sci-fi horror is such a genre that I absolutely love. But some of the sci-fi horror I've been able to see has been a bit schlocky, a little bit more, I guess, like cerebral and mysterious and thrilling. I've just heard this is pretty directly, explicitly violent. But there are a couple movies I have never seen due to its content. One is Event Horizon. The other is The Exorcist. And so I just want to see how I do. I'm going to take some SUDS ratings. Have we talked about SUDS ratings?
No.
A SUD rating is a subjective unit of distress, SUD. So I'm going to take some SUDS ratings right now. And you can do 1 to 10 or 1 to 100. I tend to do 1 to 100. So right now I'm actually at like a 55.
Okay. All right. I think you'll do better with this movie than you might think, especially given the years since you've known about it. I think you have probably built it up a lot. That is not to say that it isn't graphic. There are graphic elements for sure, but I think you'll be able to take it because over the years you've sort of become a little desensitized to.
That's true.
Graphic violence, certainly since I've known you.
That's right. Yeah, I could say that. It's also daytime.
It is daytime.
So that helps. I'm not watching this in a pitch black room.
Yeah, you're not expected to go to sleep right afterward.
Right. I'm going to chase this with some reality TV or something really lighthearted.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's jump into 1997's Paul W.S. Anderson's haunted house movie in space. It's Event Horizon. Here we go.
Just got a little more nervous.
So I saw this movie in theaters when it was first released. I don't think I've seen it since. It's funny, I allowed you to decide what the 5 movies were without really any discussion. It didn't occur to me to tell you that I really didn't like this movie.
Oh,
That being said, I am looking forward to coming back to it now for the first time since 1997 to determine if it holds up better than I remember. To go in theme with some of our previous movies, the original cut of this film was 130 minutes. So it was 2 hours and 10 minutes. This one is down to a swift 90 some odd.
I'm hearing some kind of like late 90s musical influences, the Matrix of it all, the Hackers of it all.
Sure.
Like Prodigy is probably on this album. Oh, it's 2015.
No.
No, it's 2032.
No.
No. It's 2040.
Just let it happen.
It's 2047.
There we go.
So Event Horizon is the ship?
Event Horizon is the ship.
That's interesting. That's not at all what I thought Event Horizon was.
The screenwriter originally pitched this script as a haunted house movie on a spaceship.
Space ghosts.
Also, I remember specifically the greens and yellows, this putrid color was designed to make the audience watching it on a big screen a little nauseated.
This was after Jurassic Park, just a couple of years, right?
Yeah, Jurassic Park was, 93? So this would have been 4 years later. More white padded walls for you, Drea.
Makes me more comfortable.
So something I mentioned when we were watching Solaris a couple of episodes ago was that a movie coming up was highly influenced by it. Having now seen these white padded walls and an obsessive collection of photos of his presumably wife, which movie do you think is the one that took heavy influence from Solaris?
Wait, why can't we go to Mars, Captain? I mean, Mars has got women.
That's right. Neptune, there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
Someone drops the ball, we get the call. Let's go.
Smith, you follow me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cooper,
Skipper.
ion drive in 10 minutes.
Ooh, it's time to play Spam in the King.
It's got a very alien vibe in
I
terms
agree.
of the innards of the ship. Does that make you feel more at home in a sci-fi adventure?
A little bit. So they're going into like a cryo state? Mm-hmm. This guy can't be trusted, I'm telling you right now.
Is this a result of the casting or the accent or
I'm not
like
sure.
what?
It's his vest of scissors and sharp accoutrements. Wow. So they're like in these Bacta tanks. Interesting.
Hello?
Oh no.
So now you can see he had inspirations when he was rewriting the original script. Paul Anderson was sort of channeling The Shining by Stanley Kubrick, the original version of The Haunting by Robert Wise in 1963, and yes, as aforementioned, Solaris, 1972's.
Want some coffee? Would you like some coffee?
Let's go, people. We have a job to do.
Okay, Denny. Happy birthday. Play horsey, Mommy. Play
Oh,
horsey.
oh.
Hey, no more ball in the house.
Lady, keep that panel as still as humanly possible.
I did try to find a replacement for you, but with such short notice, it was impossible. I am sorry.
Everything's all right.
All right, people, listen up.
DJ.
As you all know, we have an addition to our crew. Dr. Weir, you care to join us?
Everything I'm about to tell you is considered code black by the NSA. USAC intercepted a radio transmission from a decaying orbit around Neptune. The source of this transmission has been identified as the Event Horizon. The Event Horizon is the culmination of a secret government project to create a spacecraft capable of faster-than-light flight. The ship doesn't really go faster than light. What it does is it creates a dimensional gateway that allows it to jump instantaneously from one point.
So you're going to take out a piece of paper and a pen and fold it and with a little pen through it.
Right, well, using layman's terms.
Here's a piece of paper. And we fold it.
Fold space-time consistent with Veil.
And then we stick a pen through it.
Until the space-time curvature becomes infinitely large and you produce a singularity. Now, a singularity.
Layman's terms.
Imagine for a minute that this piece of paper.
He's going to do it.
Attractive piece of paper represents space-time, and you want to get from point A here.
Oh, there we go.
It's happening.
Shortest distance between 2 points.
A straight line.
Wrong. Shortest distance between 2 points is 0, and that's what the gateway does. It folds space so that point A and point B coexist in the same space and time. And the spacecraft.
This is so satisfying.
All right, we're going to do a collection of tropes. We'll talk about that at the end of this episode.
The mission was going perfectly, like a textbook. I had the go-ahead to use the gravity drive to open the gateway to Proxima Centauri.
My suds are at a 25.
They just disappeared, vanished without a trace. Until now. But TDRS did receive this single transmission. Same recording, through several filters, managed to isolate what appears to be a human voice.
Sounds like Latin.
Can you translate it?
Liberate me something, I don't know, I can't make out the rest.
Free me?
Save me.
So the original screenwriter, Philip Eisner, admitted that the concept of the wormhole faster than space was based on Warhammer 40K.
Which is what?
The game.
Okay.
Yeah, the game with all the soldiers and
That's
the minis.
what I thought that was. I didn't know Warhammer was around in the 90s.
Also, the original draft of the script that they liked so much prior to Paul Anderson getting involved, the Event Horizon was a cruise ship that was being haunted by like sort of alien beings. And then Paul Anderson was like, well, I'm not really all that interested in doing a remake of Alien. So he came in and did a lot of rewriting.
Dead ahead, 5,000 meters. Start, anybody home?
Event Horizon, do you read?
3,000 meters and closing. Where is it?
The scope is lit. It's right in front of us.
We're right on top of the sir. We're gonna hit.
My recollection too is that this is one of two movies that Paramount had coming out this year that involved lost ships. This is the same year that Titanic was released. And in fact, Titanic's delay in its release date is what made this movie so quote unquote bad. They had to rush editing because Paramount moved the the release date for this up because Titanic wasn't going to make its original release date. So instead of the DGA mandated 10 weeks of editing, that Anderson was supposed to get. He only got 6.
Very impressive ship, Doctor.
Thank you.
Everything 5x5.
Locked into the event horizon.
I'm showing deep cold. The crew couldn't survive unless they were in stasis.
Find them, Stark.
There's something wrong with the scan. I'm picking up trace life forms, but I can't get a lock on a location. These readings are all over the ship. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, we do it the hard way. Deck by deck, room by room.
We should definitely split up the party. That always goes well.
I didn't come out all this way just to sit on your bridge. I need to be on that ship.
Once we've secured the ship, we'll bring you on
No,
board.
I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. I need to be on that ship.
Once we've secured the ship, that's the way it is.
This scientist is not telling us everything.
Oh, everybody's on a need-to-know basis, and they don't need to know.
Yo, baby, back. Keep your nose clean.
It looks great. The props and the
Like they're just the production
these
design?
ships, yeah, it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We are crossing the umbilicus, making our approach to the event horizon. Place is a deep freeze. Mr. Justin, you take engineering.
Yes, sir.
Peters and I'll take the forward decks.
It suddenly becomes Sphere.
One of my favorite movies.
In an emergency, they destroy the central corridor and split the ship in half. And then the crew can use the foredecks as a lifeboat.
I'm in medical. No casualties. Scanning for life readings. This place is a tomb.
Oh, me!
Miller, are you okay?
Looks like Skipper got a case of the Wendy's.
Cooper, get back to your post.
I'm fine.
Why are they so jumpy?
I guess if your captain screams in terror.
No, the captain himself is jumpy.
No, but I mean, I think that there would be a residual.
Why does this need to be a thing?
What the hell is this place, Dr. Weir?
Allows you to enter the second containment without compromising the magnetic fields.
Looks like a meat grinder to me.
Got some blood here.
Miss Peters, could you turn back and left? Ship's log.
Old CD-ROM.
I hate it when my CD player won't give me my CDs back.
There's something behind her. Oh, God.
I'm really looking forward to the rest of this movie with you.
Decompression doesn't do that. Looks like it was caused by it.
Oh.
An animal or something.
Why does it look like Cenobites built this ship?
The Cenobites?
Yeah. What's that movie called? The
Hellraiser?
Really strange readings in here.
This ship is sort of hell in space, so I could see this being Hellraiser in space.
I have a theory that I may tell you about later.
That's the core of the gravity drive.
It is Sphere.
The heart of the ship.
I swear, like, he built this thing. This guy's a little too familiar and a little too attached.
Too proud?
Yeah. Why would he do this? This is not a good idea.
Never go touching weird stuff. Engineers, scientists, they always go touching stuff.
This is Miller. Can anybody hear me?
I don't think it's just the boarding party you got to worry about.
I can take your hit for as long as I can. Get out! We're losing atmosphere. Here I come. Here I come. Hold on, baby bear. I'm almost there. Almost there. I got you. I can. Oh, watch out!
Oh!
I got you. What?
Why are there spikes everywhere? Like, who designed this?
Honestly, if one of my colleagues just kept calling me Baby Bear, I'd probably throw myself into the little black liquid mirror too.
I want all personnel on board the Event Horizon pronto.
Gravity in 5 seconds.
Ew.
Dr. Weir.
I brought most primary systems online.
Stark, what's our status?
The antennae array is completely fried. We've got no radio, no laser, no high gain. No one's coming to help us. And the CO2 filters on the Event Horizon are shot.
So we take the scrubbers from the Clark. That gives us what?
Enough breathable air for 20 hours. But after that, we better be on our way home.
What are you going to breathe for the remainder of the time?
Captain Bennett, you copy over?
I copy, Mr. Smith. How's my ship?
So we've got a 7-meter fracture on the outer hull. We should be able to repair her, but it's going to take an awful lot of time, sir.
Negative. 20 hours, we run out of air.
Understood, sir.
What happened here, Doctor?
Okay. How is he?
I don't know. He might wake up in 15 minutes. Might not wake up at all.
I mean, it was like nothing, and then Justin appeared, and it was liquid, and the whole cords turned south.
It's just not physically possible.
Doctor, please, don't start in with that physics shit. I'm telling you, I saw it.
Doctor, Mr. Justin may die. Now, I have to assume that whatever happened to him could happen to all of us. Mr. Cooper says he saw something. I believe he saw something.
Mr. Cooper's delusional, if you don't mind my saying so. But maybe he saw an optical effect caused by gravitational distortion.
An optical effect? That's... Where the Cooper?
That's not a hallucination. That would be an illusion.
If somehow a burst of gravity waves escaped from the core, it could distort space-time, it could make Justin seem to disappear, it could also have damaged the Lewis and Clark. However, I think this is entirely unlikely.
What's in the core, Doctor?
What's in the core?
This is the gateway. Now, these 3 magnetic rings, when they align, it creates an artificial black hole, which allows the ship to travel to any point in space.
We've applied all these spikes everywhere for aesthetic purposes.
Use that immense power to bend space-time.
So if Mr. Justin was sucked through your gateway, he could have gone wherever the Event Horizon's been.
Theoretically, yes, but as I told you before, the gateway can't just open by itself.
Lieutenant, I want this room sealed off. Second containment from here on in is off limits.
Yes, sir.
Captain, there's no danger.
Doctor, my ship is in pieces and one of my crewmen may not make it home alive. No one else goes near this thing.
That's not good.
I will say most of the effects in this movie were done practically in camera.
DJ, where are you?
I'm up on deck 4.
It's the kind of thing we would do in the Boy Scouts. We were out camping.
Mommy?
This is her kid. Oh.
Peters!
Maybe people should announce themselves and not startle people by quietly coming up to them and then grabbing them.
But you are starting to see the Solaris
Yeah, people
parallels
are starting to see things that are upsetting them.
that may or may not be hallucinations.
It's the final entry in the ship's log.
I want to say how proud proud I am of my crew. We've reached safe distance.
This is John Kilpack, ship's captain.
And are preparing to engage the gravity drive and open the gateway to Proxima Centauri. Ave atque vale. Hail and farewell.
Oh, so now we know who was speaking Latin.
It's the core.
The dark.
Oh, I don't like this.
Billy.
Oh, the hell is that?
Miller!
Be with me. Forever.
The hell? Who's that? Can we just have a moment to like process the thing? Like they're just going from one jump scare to a haunting to a person on fire to a body.
About an hour ago, I saw my son lying on the examination table.
It sounds a little like shock. Could it be that you're traumatized by seeing the body
No,
on the...
excuse me, no!
She's right. Now, this is real. I felt heat. This is not something that's in our heads.
For him to say, I felt heat, that can't be hallucination, is a good examination of whether something is real or not. Is it affecting one sense or more senses?
So even though all of the five senses are in some way driven by the brain, you can't have multiple senses be part of the same hallucination?
Well, it's not as if you can't have multiple senses contributing to a hallucination, but typically it's not multisensory to the degree that it fits with your reality. So for him to notice that he feels heat, I'm not saying it's not a hallucination, but I'm saying that's a good measure.
What does it start?
I ran the bioscan with the DNA, RNA filters. The results were bio readings.
Of an indeterminate origin, yes, I know.
I think that there's a connection between the readings and the hallucinations. Like they're all part of a defensive reaction, some sort of immune system. I'm saying that this ship is reacting to us and the reactions are getting stronger. It's as if the ship brought back something with it, a life force of some kind.
What are you telling me, that this ship is alive?
You wanted an answer, and it's the only one I've got.
Justin! Justin!
What is it? What did you hear?
What is it?
Patience! Listen to me. It's DJ, all right? Okay. Now, tell me.
I will. Make it stop! Make it stop!
Open the door.
It's almost like
maybe you should do that.
It's almost like he's doing this or he's influencing this.
So is it possible to have multiple hallucinations at once? So could you see a burning bloody man, but then also feel heat because your brain is telling you that there's fire or something?
All of those components are unlikely. Usually it's more narrowed in on one sense.
Miller, come in. We have an emergency. Justin is in the airlock and he is not wearing a suit.
Justin! Open this door! Now!
Did you hear it?
Keep him talking.
Yes.
It shows you horrible things.
What does?
The dark inside me. I won't go back there. I won't.
No, baby bear. Come on, open the door.
What's happening?
I've almost got it.
You stay with me, Justin.
If you could see the things I've seen, you wouldn't try to stop me.
Oh no. Nope. No.
Justin!
Where am I? Oh my God. Mama Bear. Open the door. Captain Miller, tell them to open the door.
They can't do that, Justin.
I don't want to die in here.
You're not gonna die.
In there.
Oh, what's happening?
I want you to huff and puff and blow all the air out of your lungs. You hear me, Justin?
Oh, what is...
Do it now!
Why?
Okay, baby bear. I got him. I got him. Stand by, people.
We've got pressure.
Why didn't they just do this before?
They said they couldn't open the inner door while the outer door was activated
Oh,
because
so
it would
he closed
decompress
it.
the entire ship.
Oh,
Stabilize them best I can.
Stark, what's our time like?
CO2 levels will become toxic in 4 hours.
Peters, we've got to find out what happened to the other crew before the same thing happens to us.
Justin said something about dark inside me. What's that mean?
I don't think it means anything.
he's such a liar.
I'd like some answers, Doctor. You built this ship. You've given me nothing but bullshit.
What do you want me to say?
You said the ship's drive creates a gateway. To what? Where did you send it?
I don't know.
I don't know is not good enough, Doctor.
There's a lot of things happening around here that I don't fully understand. I need time.
Well, that's exactly what we don't have, Doctor.
It's in your head.
And as we learned from Solaris, that's how you're supposed to handle it, right?
Yeah, you should try to reject the hallucination. But the trouble is that we are on a mysterious ship. We don't know what's real and what's not.
God help us.
He was calling to me. A young bosun named Eddie Korik. We served on the Goliath together. When the O2 tanks ruptured, 4 of us made it to the lifeboat, but Korik was still on board the Goliath when the fire broke out. You ever seen fire in zero gravity? It's beautiful. It's like liquid. It slides all over everything. Comes up in waves. And they just kept hitting him. Wave after wave. He was screaming for me to save him. I did the only thing I could. I left him behind.
You never told me that.
That's just it, DJ. I never told anybody. But this ship knew about it.
I've been listening to the distress signal. Think I made a mistake in the translation. I thought it said liberate me, save me, but it's not me.
Yourself.
It's liberate tutte me, save yourself from hell.
Nope.
This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe. Who knows where it's been, what it's seen, and what it's brought back with it.
Captain Miller, ready to repressurize the clock and get the hell out of here.
Hello, baby. Papa's home.
You are the lifesaver. 20 minutes and we're underway.
Stark. Oh. Miller?
Liberate tutte me. Exit ferries.
Oh my God. Can we just leave?
We're leaving.
Our orders are specific.
Oh.
Rescue the crew, salvage what's left of the ship. The crew is dead, Doctor. Your ship killed them.
We came here to do a job.
I'm so mad at this guy. It's done.
You wouldn't think a guy who survived Jurassic Park would want to stick around in a place like this, but...
Yeah, it's some kind of exceptionalism. He thinks he's going to survive this too. But that's not this character.
What about my ship? You can't just leave her? I have no intention of leaving her, Doctor. I will take the Lewis and Clark to a safe distance, and then I will launch TAC missiles at the event horizon until I'm satisfied she's vaporized. F*** this ship.
Oh, damn.
You can't leave. She won't let you.
You just get your gear and get back on the Lewis and Clark, Doctor, or you'll find yourself walking home.
I am home.
Okay, we're gonna leave you here.
Yeah.
If you think this hellhole is your home, just stay here. We're done with you. He has been like holding on to something, and he's about to pop off, and he's gonna like go after these guys. Oh, just go. You're done. That kid better not call you back there. No.
It really is like, what if Solaris was a horror film?
Yeah, this is just like Solaris. Only the visitors aren't trying to help you heal. They're trying to do more harm to you. That's so messed up.
This was the scene we saw in the hotel room, I think, if I remember correctly.
Claire, it's me. I'm home. I'm home. I know I wasn't there when you needed me. God, Claire, no. Beck, please don't.
Oh, no.
Not again, please.
No.
Billy, it's all right. You'll never be alone again. You're with me now.
Forever and ever.
I don't like that her eyes are closed.
Wonderful things to show you.
A scene very much concocted in the style of The Shining, I think.
Weir! Dr. Weir! Dr. Weir, get your ass back on board now! Weir!
Just leave him.
I've just seen Weir messing around on the Clark, sir.
Smith, get out of there. One of the explosives is missing from the corridor. Weir might have put it on the Clark.
Gotcha.
Well.
Oh. Oh my God. How are they going to get out of here?
Are they going to get out of here?
It's like a total party kill. Like none of these people, and I don't even want Dr. Weir to get out of here.
All right, think. All right. I gotta get back to the ship. All right. I'll blow my air tank. All right, here I go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Come on. Yes! Here I come, mother.
Okay.
Every movie's got to have that one guy.
Was Weir. You spot him, you take him out.
I changed my mind. I do like the medic.
I'll take care of him.
I don't think he's gonna last. No! No! What the?
EJ?
Oh my God. Oh!
Very Silence of the Lambs.
No. Tell me when that's Tell me when that's over.
Okay, Dr. Weir. You don't want to leave your ship? You never will.
I did not expect Sam Neill to be the bad guy in this movie. I thought there was going to be something else extraterrestrial or supernatural or something else.
I mean, both can be true.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
There's no getting
How are they gonna,
out of here.
How are they going to leave? The
Oh my God. What happened to your eyes?
Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
Yep.
I created the event horizon to reach the stars, but she's gone much, much farther than that. She tore a hole in our universe, the gateway to another dimension of pure chaos, pure evil. When she crossed over, she was just a ship. When she came back, she was alive.
I'm going to need you to back up.
Your beautiful ship killed its crew, Doctor.
Now she has another crew. Now she has us.
Cinowates.
You miss me, you blow out the hull.
What makes you think I'll miss?
That's right, I'm back! I can't stop! Hey! Hey! What? Who the? Oh,
What?
They are not getting their deposit back. Can't be easy to hold on to a line that's just wriggling like that.
I'm not going to lie. I forgot she was there.
She's not the most memorable of the characters.
Forward airlock.
don't hit me!
You're okay. It's over.
No, it's not. Weir's activated the gravity drive. We gotta shut it down.
Wasn't there an escape pod that the other crew didn't use?
Yeah, the front.
Separate us from the rest of the ship. Use the foredecks as a lifeboat. I'm gonna go manually arm these explosives. You go activate the emergency beacon. You get back here double quick.
Yes, sir.
I don't think they should split up. That's how you get into trouble.
Blood.
That ain't real. So another Shining reference?
Gateway opening in T-3 minutes.
We are armed. She's ready to blow.
We have to get out of here. Now!
You let me burn!
Who's this? Oh, that's his friend.
And that door, the patterns on the door look very much like the cube in Hellraiser.
Noah!
Shoot.
Weir?
The hell?
I told you she won't
No.
let me leave. She won't let anyone leave. She's been to a place you couldn't possibly imagine. And now it is time to go back.
I know. To hell.
Hell is only a word. The reality is much worse. Let me show you. You see,
No, they're not dead. They're not dead.
not yet.
You won't take my crew!
And then the ending just becomes a big fist fight.
Is he naked?
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't you be?
I guess. You don't need clothes in hell.
Yeah.
True anymore. They belong to the ship. The gateway is open, and you are all coming with me. Do you see?
Oh.
Do you see?
No.
I see.
This is very Transformers the movie, blowing up the back part of the ship.
This is Rescue 1. We have contact. Prepare to board.
So now we've jumped to the very beginning of Aliens.
It doesn't appear to have been damaged in the explosion. There appear to be 3 survivors. Justin seems to have suffered massive injuries.
Justin looks like hell.
How can we tell all that?
I'm opening the first tank now.
Man, how much would it suck to be asleep in space travel and then suddenly you're just constantly falling out of your bed?
Why is this scaring me? Oh!
Stay calm. It's all right.
Calm down.
All right. Breathe.
These people are never going to be well again.
You may not even be well again. After
Hey,
this.
I'm not okay.
What's your meter up to?
It was 90. Wow, and now techno music taking us out.
Yeah, now you've got your Prodigy song. Okay. So Dre, I just want to remind you, you did this to yourself.
You're
but
not
how do
wrong.
you feel?
I feel fine. There were some jump scares and some sudden thrilling images that were very grotesque.
Yeah.
And put me out. I didn't like that. And I know it's meant for the scare. Like, they were showing you brief flashes of intense gore and body horror. And I think that's what the feeling is supposed to be. I don't recommend eating or drinking while watching this. This was just intense, relentless, horrific action.
Yeah.
And it was that way the whole time. That's a criticism of the movie coming from me. Like, you don't have a moment for your nervous system to just kind of like relax a little bit and process the story. So I
guess then my
didn't
question
like that.
is, do you think, because as I said, the original cut of this, which has gone missing, like Paul Anderson says that the footage that was cut out was not treated well afterward, and so he claims that no one will ever see the 130-minute cut because the only thing that still exists is one of the producers kept a VHS tape of it, and so it can never be restored to pristine quality. We'll never get to see the longer cut that apparently gives it more breathing room. That being said, it does apparently also give you things like an extended version of what's called the blood orgy, and things like that. So, yeah. But do you think that had the 130-minute cut been released, that you probably would have gotten that breathing room in between intense moments?
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't have the data to back up that idea. But it does seem to be from the jump, from the launch. It's just a constant barrage of terror and attacks and assaults, and it leaves very little. I think, like, for a movie like this, you want to start thinking about what is the threat. Like, you want to start hypothesizing and processing, and this movie just doesn't want you to be a partner with it. It just wants to assault you. It doesn't want you to be like in engagement. Like, there's not enough mysteriousness. It just gives it everything to you and puts it on you.
And it instead of sort of putting it on a plate and letting you graze, it is force feeding you this information quickly. It is. I think you're right. It is an assault. It is the antithesis of Solaris. If Solaris was the thinking person's, and I will say a criticism of that movie, as we pointed out, is that it is slow. It is too deliberate. It allows you too much time to process what's going on in many cases. However, this movie is the antithesis of that. It does not allow you the opportunity to process the information you've just learned. I mean, even while I was asking you a question and you were answering it, more stuff was happening.
I was missing.
Yeah.
I was missing dialogue because I was just trying to make sense of the scene that we just saw. And like, look, I actually don't think that the story is that complicated. It's not that I need to sit here and analyze and make sense of something complex. I think I'm just saying from the perspective of being able to enjoy it. Even if someone really likes horror, they need those moments of tension to ebb and wane. Like, you've got to have the ups and downs. And I think good horror writers know this. At some point, you almost become, it's not that I became habituated to it, but I almost became kind of like, this is going to be an exaggeration, but a little bit dissociating. Like, okay, everything is in your face, these flashes of horror, these flashes of violence. I got to a point in my brain where I just kind of like tried to numb out to it because I wanted to know the story. And I think that the relationships were interesting. And I think that you had some potential with these characters, but not enough to really care about them.
Yeah,
not
none
enough.
of them were developed. We knew what each of their issues were.
Yeah.
We just didn't care about them. You know, it's sort of like there is the character, not Stark, but it was Kathleen Quinlan's character, Peters, where she's got a child back home.
Right.
And the captain is like, look, I'm sorry that I couldn't find someone else to do this. And she's like, no problem. My ex-husband's taking the kid. Don't you think all of that would have been discussed even prior to getting on board the ship? Like, it felt like the dialogue was shoehorned in order to make us care in any way, shape, or form about these characters and their lives outside of the ship. Now, in the same way that Solaris handled it, it appeared to take the characters' conscience. It was all the things you felt bad about But instead of, as you mentioned during the watching of the movie, instead of trying to heal you from this, it is trying to punish you for it.
And that I think I can respect from looking at it, examining it as the horrors of our mind. That, yes, the more direct explanation is the one they said. Like, this ship went into some other dimension, literally touched hell, and now is going to bring us back there, and it makes you do these wild, inhuman things. So that's the literal explanation. But there is truth to getting, lost and stuck in the horrors of your past.
Yeah.
And each of them, and I even think about the main character, or one of the main characters, Dr. Weir, that he lost his wife to suicide and how that has haunted him emotionally, and he carries that with him. And he has the thing that this movie gets right. He has flashbacks about that traumatic memory.
Mm-hmm.
He has nightmares that are vivid and believable and startle him into wakefulness. He has negative beliefs, distorted beliefs that this world that we know is not worth it. It's not valuable. Like, he's kind of immersed in the negativity. His future orientation is very negative. He came onto the ship with this job that requires him to examine some past event that happened to a different crew. But the reality is that he's also there because he feels connected to the ship and what he created on this ship.
It's the only thing he has left.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And maybe his way of resolving his past is to become more enmeshed or connected to this vessel that now has this meaning to him. And he's giving his life to it. So I do think that, I think it's meant to be a somewhat of a schlocky horror film, but I also find it to be interesting. I think the meaningful idea around this is that you have an opportunity to move through your horrible traumas, and it does call to you. It pulls you into your past. It gives you upsetting things. It puts upsetting ideas in your brain, and you've got to move through it. I mean, that saying is true. You've got to move through it to move past it. So I think there's something here that's valuable psychologically.
Wait a minute. Is there a weird, like, go with me on this. Is there a weird, like, you've got to move through it in order to move past it, sort of?
These gestures, I don't know that
sort of parallel, like the folding of the paper and putting a pen through it. Like,
of the paper.
Like you've got to, like, you in order to move through it and past it, you've got to fold a piece of paper and stick a pen through it. Like, what? Like, I feel like even that might be me reaching, given that it's a Paul W.S. Anderson film, but, like, you could see someone trying to make that argument that really the whole thing, getting through your trauma is like moving past the speed of light. You've got to fold time and space and move through it. But then it could be a zero, and the best way to get, I don't know. I'm trying to find it. It's there
You're starting
somewhere.
to sound like me.
I haven't quite gotten there yet. Well, let me tell you, I will say this, and it might be because I remembered the movie pretty well. Like, there really wasn't a whole lot about it that I didn't remember from when I saw it in '97. But I will say that I thought it held up a little bit better than I remembered. I remember walking out of the theater probably very similar to the way you are now, where I was like, this movie's a calamity. Like
Yeah.
it's a mess. It's the editing, it's too choppy. The writing is virtually missing. I remember loving the production design. I thought although even the production design now, as I look at it the second time, it's just an amalgamation of so many different movies and TV shows that we had seen up to that point. Every room on the ship was a different homage to a different science fiction film. And so even now I'm like, well, I love the production design, but I love it by scene. I don't love it as a full film because nothing is connected. Nothing really feels like it should all be part of the same ship. And so, yeah.
And so are you saying that in many ways you feel the same way about it?
Yeah, I still think it's a mess.
Okay.
I do think that if I could get the opportunity to see the 2-hour, 10-minute cut, I would probably take that opportunity because I want to see how this movie could have been better. And I realized that 2 hours and 10 minutes would still probably be too long. Like, that was his first cut. That was before he had the opportunity to really whittle it down and hone it and make it the story he wanted. Unfortunately, because of, like I said, because of Titanic, and for those of you who didn't get to see this on YouTube, because of Titanic missing its release date, and they had to push that film, they accelerated the release of Event Horizon. And so typically, per the rules of the Directors Guild, a director is supposed to be given 10 weeks to do their cut of the film. And this film had to be done in 6. And so it was rushed. The film got taken away from him by Paramount. Paramount then cut it down to this swift, 97 minutes, something like that, movie. And that is what was released. Now, it has built a cult following. And I think a lot of that cult following is based on the aesthetic, based on, there was a long period of time there where Paul Anderson was the go-to director to hate, right? You know, it's like, oh, it's going to be a Paul Anderson film. Don't let him make a movie. And I think that he's probably being mistreated in this. I would like to see that longer cut because I would like to see if this movie was salvageable or if this movie was just the Event Horizon, a completely unsalvageable ship that had gone into hell and somehow come out alive and destined to torture all of us sitting in the theaters or in our homes. I don't know. And I find myself wondering, for you as the psychologist, what do you have to talk about that is not just sort of regurgitating what you had said about Solaris, which had managed to handle this type of story in a deeper, more meaningful, psychological way?
That's a really good question, because if I were to say, and I would say that sci-fi films that take this opportunity to examine this fictional idea of putting past events, especially traumatic events, into real visceral situations for you, that you're put to the test around almost being forced to process and examine your difficult past, your unresolved adverse events, things that, as humans, we must face, and that different, and we deal with differently, is what I meant to say. That is a theme that I embrace. I think that's very, very common in science fiction around lots of different aspects, right? Counterfactual thinking, our imaginations, hallucinations, even ideas like body snatching and cloning and alternate universes, the what ifs. When I said counterfactual thinking, those are the what ifs. What if this situation happens again? Or what if this person who's no longer alive is alive? Or what if that mistake that I made, I can redo it? I mean, we've covered several movies, Back to the Future, Solaris, and Space Odyssey. They handle kind of these what ifs. And I embrace that out of science fiction. That's why I love science fiction, because a lot of times we don't feel ready or brave enough to sit with our own thoughts and examine those ideas. And these movies kind of draw it out of us. So I generally would say I like Event Horizon because, I think it's meant to be a very frightening, like just series of terrors.
Yeah.
And
this was in the middle of the 90s where horror was really making its big comeback with big, the House on Haunted Hill, The Haunting, like everybody was trying to scare you in the mid to late 90s.
No, I mean, I remember these trailers would come up and I would change the channel. I was such a scared youngster. I didn't watch any of this stuff. Although I do admit that the Alien franchise somehow got past that threshold, and I was a big fan of that. I think it's because of repetition. I think I'd seen it as a kid and then just continued to see the same.
But it could also be because, and I say this, I don't mean to be flippant about this. It could be because you had taste. and I know this sounds funny, but I think once you've seen Alien, would Event Horizon really do it for you? Like it doesn't really handle it with the same.
I think you're making a good point.
There isn't nuance.
There isn't. I do find value in some horror. And, I guess the couple of things I do want to say in answering your question is, on paper, the theme of this movie has value. And I do like a psychological thriller. I wish it had been the psychological thriller version of Solaris, not a horror version, because then you could kind of take more time with it and really allow it to have meaning for you. I couldn't put myself into any of these people's positions or perspectives. It was too, they were too distant from us. They didn't allow us to let us in. The other thing I want to say is that the benefits of horror like this type of horror exist. And there's actually a lot of research that looks into this kind of horror, these jump scares, the grotesque images, the nervous system kind of being on the whole time. So this is an area of study that I find really interesting, this concept of horror fans and this connection to horror. There's a lot of people that around this time, 80s and 90s, they were really into Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, the slasher type horror, the real bloody slasher type horror movies. And the research that looks at this, and whether it's from back then or the current era, the research that looks into this really praises horror because it teaches us some emotion regulation skills that are beneficial and valuable for us as humans. And so specifically what that means is that we get to sit in a theater or in a living room or in the bedroom and have the perspective of our nervous system having these ups and downs, these waves of activation and regulation. And sometimes that could be good for us in sort of these like practice states for us to get used to when the alarms go off and getting used to knowing that, well, eventually those emotions, those reactions do subside. It does go down, and we go back to stasis. And
unfortunately, with this film, it reaches a height, and then there is no dip. It just keeps going.
This is expert level. I don't recommend this. I recommend this as like a level 10 for expert horror fans, because other horror movies allow your nervous system to take a break. And what I mean when I mentioned this research and the benefits of this, then during COVID, this was happening quite a lot, where people were really pulled into movies that were apocalyptic and dystopian and scary and horrific. That movie Contagion was an older movie, but I don't know, maybe like 2010s or something. But during COVID, that movie was really popular. We were really drawn to being terrorized and being scared and being
it allows
uncertain.
you to step close to the thing,
absolutely,
while still having a barrier between you and that thing.
Yes, and we have very sophisticated emotional systems where I think a lot of us were doing that because we wanted self-control. We wanted to learn to regulate uncertainty and fear. And, you know, I value these kinds of movies because they really allow us to do that in like a practice state. And we got to do this together. So I felt less scared because I was with you watching this together. So I didn't feel quite as scared. And, you know, obviously my brain knows this is a movie. I'm scared. I was scared of this because I didn't want to witness something that like my eyes could never forget. I've seen scary movies where, you know, I'll never forget that one scene in The Shining, or I don't know, some of the scenes even from Hitchcock, like they just burn into your brain. You never forget them. They get kind of creepy. And then your mind revisits them when you're alone at night.
So
it's
then
dark.
as a psychologist, is that bad though? Like I would say that while that scene in The Shining, and I'm assuming you're talking about the bathroom.
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about like the two people in the hotel room.
The two little girls?
No.
The twins?
The two people dressed up in animal costumes.
Oh, that's what you can't forget.
The scariest thing I've ever seen.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, now my mind's blown because I'm like, of all the scary things, like that's, so for you, it's just like the little askew stuff.
I don't want to talk about it.
But is it a bad thing? Like you can acknowledge, right, that The Shining is a really wonderfully made movie. It is an accomplishment. It is a feat of cinematic.
I don't know. I suppose.
Okay, but okay, all right. Because I'm trying to figure out. So what you're saying is nothing in this particular film, and I think I'm trying to use this conversation to gauge you on other movies.
Well, I mean, I guess when I said there are a couple things that I appreciate, one is the theme, which you have said, and I agree, is a repetition of other science fiction films. We've done this before, but I do appreciate the theme of being haunted by your past traumas and having to resolve that dissonance in some way. And I will say that, you know, this concept of nightmares and flashbacks and images that appear quickly, briefly, this is a representation of a post-traumatic experience. And many people will say, it is a true horror. You have no control over when or how these ideas, images, and memories come into your mind, and they're held hostage by this. They feel incredibly distressed by this.
Yeah.
So I want to just give some appreciation for the elements of past trauma. And the other thing that I was mentioning was that just in a generic way, this kind of horror could have value from a psychological perspective. Maybe even someone like me who's rating my SUD scales and trying to manage my fear. I don't know if I ever said this on the air, but I did have, years ago, I had a client who had a Chucky phobia. I don't know if we ever talked about it on the show. I tend to not talk about real
I don't remember ever
situations.
hearing anything about a Chucky.
Yeah, and this is, I'll say it this way, de-identified, very generic. I'm not going to say anything more than it was a Chucky phobia. And this is actually not uncommon. Spider phobias, snake phobias are more common, but a Chucky phobia, it happens. And so
it's not a phobia of dolls. It's very
Chucky.
Specifically that doll.
Chucky in particular.
Yeah.
And
okay.
some of the treatment was exposure therapy with Chucky movies. And as the therapist, I had to go there. I had to design the exposure therapy, and I had to get right with this. I don't like horror movies to this degree. I certainly am not a Chucky fan.
So you had to sit there and watch the movies?
What I'll say is that we designed therapy sessions where we would have various gradual levels of exposure to Chucky themes, including the movie, images, pictures, ideas. Now, we didn't quite get, how do I say this? I'll just say more generically, like if I were to design this in a generic sense, you could do lots of different things. You could have an actual Chucky doll in session. You could watch scenes from the Chucky films. You could play audio from the Chucky films. You could do imaginal exposures. So talking through an imagined scene or idea about Chucky. There's lots of ways to raise subjective feelings of distress and learn to habituate to those feared objects and to our own feared responses.
So if you're trying to help someone with their phobia of Chucky, do you limit it to the first film? Because they don't get better.
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
They don't really get better. I would say the Chucky films are very much in the vein of like the Nightmare on Elm Street films, where each one just becomes a little more funny. Like it's a little silly. And, you know, when you start having like a wife of Chucky, a child of Chucky, you know, even Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise ran into this problem where eventually you stop getting scared. You know, it's no longer jump scares.
Right.
It's now there's a death followed by an eruption of laughter.
Right.
And people say that laughter helps break the tension of fear and anxiety. But in this case, you're just basically writing it like when Jason goes to space in Jason X, it's everything you need to know. Just in that premise, Jason goes to space and you're like, okay, this is going to be a ridiculous film. And it was not great. And so I do find myself wondering, like, do you limit yourself to the one that's the scariest, to the one that could be a little, or do you start off with the ones that are a little more benign and a little more comic relief and work your way up to the scary one?
It's subjective. So SUDS, subjective units of distress, take that S, subjective. So to answer your question, it doesn't matter what I think.
No, sure.
Matters what how the patient experiences the different levels of distress.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's kind of a neutral approach to take. Now, I could totally understand being scared of Chucky, but there may be some phobias and some fixations and some avoidances that might not make as much sense to us, but you just got to work with the brain.
Yeah.
The brain's a really interesting beast. So I would say that this movie is not haunted house in space. Like, I think this is Hellraiser in space. But I've never seen Hellraiser.
You've never seen Hellraiser. And by the way, you're not wrong.
Okay.
I would even go so far as to say this. And you can always tell when a movie is influenced heavily by another movie because they try to crank up the amp a little bit. After having seen Event Horizon, I am now convinced you could watch Hellraiser.
Oh, Lord.
It's going to be a lot of the same themes, and it's going to be messed up in certain ways. There will be, you know, some naked flayed dude talking to you, you know, similar to this film. But based on the graphic nature of Event Horizon and the fact that you've now come through that like a wormhole, I think that you could watch Hellraiser. Now, that being said, I'm not going to suggest we watch Hellraiser anytime soon because
But why? Why would I want to see it? Like, this just seems like.
Why would you want to see
like
it?
Like shock, like horror shock. Like, I don't want.
Well, because again, there are those films. It's sort of like what you were saying about Back to the Future. There are movies with shenanigans that really don't have redeeming factors, but then when you take the shenanigans away and the movie is about something deeper and more than you expected when you walked in,
okay,
it's redeemable. Hellraiser, I would say, has a little of that. Not a ton. It's not, it's not as revelatory as, say, a Back to the Future, or a Solaris or any of that. But there is something deeper to the first Hellraiser. After that, it becomes more about the directors wanting to go forward and show you like the meanest, harshest way of killing some person in a hell-like, landscape. But that doesn't mean the first one should go ignored. Friday the 13th. Well, Friday the 13th, I think you could... Those are all just pretty much... I mean, yes, the first one, there is a reason for the killings, but after that, it just becomes mindless killings for the sake of killings. Nightmare on Elm Street, I would say, is not like that. I would say those become a little bit more entertaining as they go. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You mentioned this movie and The Exorcist. If you can watch Event Horizon, you can watch The Exorcist. Because you have seen more hellishness from Event Horizon than you will ever see from a movie with like you've now seen like the worst of it.
I don't know that I agree with you because The Exorcist is in a different bucket. I know that it's not as violent. I don't think it has quite this graphic level of violence, but I think it's going to scare me. I think it's going to have supernatural.
Sure. The differentiation that I'm trying to make though is I'm anchoring myself, and I'm not like trying to argue with you, to get the audience to vote for The Exorcist, on the next movie we watch or whatever. What I'm saying is that's a movie that is incredibly cerebral. It is a movie that is about something. It is not just about a little girl strapped to her bed. It is about significantly more than that. And so when you say that you find redeeming qualities in movies that you end up liking because it turns out to be about something else.
Yeah.
Event Horizon wasn't necessarily that.
No. The disappointing thing, I hear what you're saying. The disappointing thing about Event Horizon is that there really isn't much to unpack.
Yeah.
It is so directly what it says it is and is going to be. You just get so much face validity from it. And I don't mean that in a good way.
Right.
I just mean it is what it is. It's one of those movies that it is what it is. And I can appreciate that. It's also a one and done. I don't need to see this movie again. I got it. Figured it out. but I could
thought
argue.
the same, Drea, but it turns out in 30 years, someone's going to ask you to do a podcast on it, and then you're going to have to rewatch it, and then you're going to have to edit it, or you got to watch it again just a few days later.
Maybe that's the story. This movie that haunts you.
Yeah, it just won't. Well, she won't let you leave. Is really what it comes down to.
She won't let you leave.
She won't.
What an idea, and what a good quotable line. She won't let you leave.
So I will say on Rotten Tomatoes, the consensus of the aggregate says, despite a strong opening that promises sci-fi thrills, Event Horizon quickly devolves into an exercise of style over substance, whose flashy effects and gratuitous gore fail to mask its over-reliance on horror cliches. I think that's probably the best possible way to describe the film itself. And it's just a little sad that maybe we already had the best discussion that we could have about the themes of the movie 3 episodes ago.
With Solaris. I agree with that. It's too bad. What do you think about my choices so far? I've picked Space Odyssey, I've picked Solaris, I've picked Back to the Future, and I've picked Event Horizon.
For the most part, I think you're kind of on track. You know what's funny is we actually had a listener predict what the 5 movies were going to be. And I can't remember. I want to say that the predictions were pretty close to accurate.
Scarily close.
Like I think the only one that may have threw them for a loop was Back to the Future, because they didn't think we would go that. They thought we were going to stick to space and spaceships. And so I think they thought we would do 2001. Interestingly, they predicted Solaris. Then I think they predicted 2010, which you and I ended up watching together separately after the first film. I think they did predict Event Horizon, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember if they predicted the 5th film, which I'm now going to give everyone 5 seconds to make guesses and yell at your speaker. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drea, why don't you tell the good folks what we're going to watch next?
We're going to watch the movie Sunshine from the early 2000s.
Yeah. And this is one you have or have not seen?
I had seen, I will admit, and this wasn't a rule that I created, but I will admit that I had, I believe I had seen it on TV maybe a couple years after it came out, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
I do remember Cillian Murphy's in it.
Yes.
And that's just about it.
Okay. All right.
And they go to the sun or something like that.
Right. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I know the film. I remember the film. This is really about watching you watch it.
Just as long as no one
gets naked and comes around flailing, bloody and scarred and burning.
I think I'm done with that genre. But I'm excited, and it is our final film for the summer of sci-fi. So I'm very excited. I'm also a little sad that we do have to wrap up the summer series, this sort of like a mini season that we had of the show. I had a great time, and it's not over yet. I'm excited.
Yeah,
for
you still got one more movie to watch. Let us know how great a time it was after Sunshine. I want to thank the listeners who have made this episode and all of our episodes possible. That is, of course, our patrons: Bert Compton, Mike Ficklin, Lindsay B., Dr. Jerome Anderson, Todd Stashwick, Hero's Journey Fitness, and Jamiroquai J. Thank you all for your support. We really couldn't do this show without you. And if you want to get your name called out, just go to patreon.com/Arkham Sessions, sign up for the $5 tier, and we will shout you out in the next episode. And if you're just listening to the audio podcast, you should come check us out on YouTube, because you get to watch Drea hide her eyes from the horrificness of Event Horizon. Until next time, Drea, why don't you tell the folks where they can find you online?
You can find me on my website, Dr. Drea Psychology, and on socials at Dr. Drea Psychology. I invite everyone to go to YouTube and find our Arkham Sessions channel and subscribe. And lastly, we have a Discord. So come over to the Discord. You can find the link in our Arkham Sessions Instagram bio.
Yep. You can find me on Instagram. I am at B_Ward028. You can find us both on Instagram at The Arkham Sessions. Email us at arkhamsessions@gmail.com. And be sure to follow our family over at Fanbase Press. They would love to have you. And until next time, I'm Brian Ward.
I'm Dr. Drea Letamendi.
And together we are
The Arkham Sessions.